All right, so hi guys, कैसे हो आप सब? So today we are with a very special guest who is Abhin who is passed out from IIM Ahmedabad. So basically IIM Ahmedabad अपने अपने आप में ही एक बहुत बड़ी चीज है, ठीक है? तो लाइक आज की बेसिकली वीडियो फोकस करने वाले हैं हम कैट की प्रिपरेशंस पर. ऑल्सो थोड़ा बहुत ग्लिम्स इसके बारे में भी मिलेगा कि इंटरव्यूज किस तरह से क्रैक करना है एंड वो जो IIM अहमदाबाद का टैग है वो किस तरह से एक बंदे के लगता है, ठीक है? तो लाइक पूरी वीडियो काफी इंफॉर्मेटिव होने वाली है एंड डेफिनेटली अभिन सर काफी आपको इनसाइट्स देंगे एंड इवन आई एम आल्सो कैट एस्पिरेंट्स, तो लाइक मेरे लिए भी बेनिफिशियल होगी. तो आई वुड सजेस्ट यू कि एंड तक जरूर देखना इस वीडियो को. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बिफोर गोइंग अहेड आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट अभिन सर टू प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस हिमसेल्फ.
Thank you so much, Tushar, for having me here. So a brief introduction about myself. I completed my graduation from DICT Gandhinagar in the field of information and communication technology, and I have a minors in computational sciences. And immediately after that, I pursued my management studies, which is MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. I hail from the city of Ahmedabad in Gujarat itself, so IIM Ahmedabad is kind of like home for me.
Okay.
And I graduated from IIMA in 21, and so yeah, it's been a year now.
Okay, that's great. So sir, मेरा सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन यही है, how to start CAT preparations? Like most of the like जितने मेरे सीनियर्स हैं they suggested me कि अपने कॉलेज लाइफ में स्टार्ट कर दो, ठीक है? फर्स्ट ईयर में भी कर सकते हो एंड सम सजेस्टेड मी कि सेकंड ईयर में करो, बिकॉज अगर फर्स्ट ईयर में कर देते तो आपका मतलब छूट जाती है सेकंड ईयर तक. तो लाइक सेकंड ईयर में करो, थर्ड ईयर के अंदर आप ज्यादा फोकस्ड रहो एंड फिर आप साथ के साथ अपना कैट के लिए एग्जाम दो. तो लाइक मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ व्हाट इज द राइट टाइम टू स्टार्ट फॉर योर कैट प्रिपरेशन. किस टाइम पे कितने लेवल की प्रिपरेशंस करनी है, ठीक है? कि लाइक जिस हिसाब से हम अच्छी तरह से कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाए और कैट प्रिपरेशन करके हम एग्जाम के लिए बैठ सके.
Sure. So I would suggest that a good 9 to 12 months of preparation is sufficient for the CAT examination. So if you are in a 4-year course, then probably you would start sometime in your third year or second semester.
Okay.
If you are in a 3-year course, then you will essentially start in the second semester of your second year. Approximately 9 to 12 months is sufficient for preparing for CAT if you give dedicated time and effort to it. I myself gave around 12 to 13 months approximately. Okay. And on an average, I would say that I put in around 5 to 6 hours a day during the CAT preparation. Okay. So obviously it's not that you give 5 to 6 hours every day right from the beginning. Initially, you may have a slow start, say around 2 to 3 hours a day. And as the CAT approaches, you move on to 8 to 9 hours a day as well.
Okay. So adding on to that, प्रोडक्टिविटी लेवल किस तरह से हम अपना इंक्रीज कर सकते हो? बिकॉज मैनी ऑफ द टाइम्स हम क्या होता है कि एक चीज को कर करके काफी बोर हो जाते हैं एंड उस टाइम पे प्रोडक्टिविटी एकदम जीरो हो जाती है. हम बुक सामने खोल के रखते हैं बट कुछ जा नहीं रहा अंदर, ठीक है? तो लाइक उस चीज को किस तरह से ओवरकम कर सकते हैं एंड प्रोडक्टिविटी लेवल किस टाइम पे मैक्सिमम हम कर सकते हैं, लाइक किस तरह से कर सकते हैं?
Sure. So two approaches to this. First, I'll talk about the CAT specific approach, and then the second in general productivity approach.
Okay.
Now, CAT specific approach, if you look at it, then CAT has 3 sections, which is VRC, verbal reading comprehension. Then it has DILR, data interpretation, logical reasoning, and quant. Now, during your CAT preparation, you can always juggle between these 3 topics, and the kind of boredom or the lack of interest that you face in a particular section, you essentially replace it with the other sections, and your productivity increases, or at least does not drop, right? In general, if we look at productivity, then I always believe that a good focused work of say an hour or so with 5, 10, 15-minute gaps as per your convenience.
Okay.
Is a good way to keep your productivity levels. And I think that applies to anything that you do.
Yeah.
If you're studying, if you're working, if you're doing some task which needs some kind of focus and attention, this approach usually works.
Okay, so ठीक है. And CAT is also like something कि जिसको काफी ज्यादा टाइम देना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? I want to ask कि जैसे 9 से 10 महीने या 12 मंथ्स का ये जो टाइम होता है, तो इसके अंदर एक कमरे के अंदर बंद होके लाइक वही चीज है, सिर्फ बुक्स, सारा दिन बुक्स, या फिर आपने इंजॉय भी किया था अपने टाइम पे, पार्टीज वगैरह भी अटेंड की, फंक्शंस भी अटेंड किए, लाइक वो चीज को क्लियर करो। बिकॉज काफी बार बच्चे क्या होता है कि अगर कैट क्लियर करना है तो भाई जैसे सीए है, कैट है, यूपीएससी है, ये सबको एक चीज से रिलेट करते हैं एंड कहते हैं कि बस बुक्स के आगे बैठे रहो एंड अगर कुछ किया तो साथ में तो डाइवर्ट हो जाएंगे। तो लाइक अकॉर्डिंग टू यू क्या बेटर रहेगा, आपका एक्सपीरियंस?
No, definitely. So, CAT does not really mean that you sit in a room full of books for 9, 10, 12 months continuously. It requires a dedicated time of studying, a dedicated time of reading other books, resources, and also understand what's going on in the outside world.
Yeah.
And obviously, to get a release from all of this that you are doing, you also need to relax a little bit, and that relaxation can be in the form of parties, it can be form of walks, music, sports, anything, right? So my suggestion would be that if you are studying for CAT, then a focused study time needs to be defined during the day, wherein you just study the 3 sections of CAT, which is the material that probably your classes provide or that you are doing on by yourself. Then there is a dedicated time for reading other resources, because CAT is not just about the examination, or rather I would say MBA is not just clearing the CAT examination. There are 2 more steps to it. The second step would be a GD round or a group activity, or in IIMs there is the AWT or that process, right, where you are supposed to write an essay about the given topic. And then comes the personal interviews. Over here, you need to understand that it's not just your knowledge about the 3 sections which will be tested, but it's also your knowledge and interest in the other things that are happening in the world, be it current affairs, be it related to the degree that you are pursuing, or in general, what interests or hobbies that you have developed over the years.
Okay.
Right. So these that's the second part. Then the third part, as I mentioned, it's many of the students who are either giving CAT as freshers, or even people who are working and are preparing for CAT. All of them need to be aware about what's going on in their degree or in their colleges, and also in their work area, because those are the things that they are expected to know, and 100% it's going to be asked in the interviews what all you know about the thing that you are doing at the moment, right? So these, you need to have a good balance of all these 3. You need to have a good profile that matches, and when I say profile, it consists of everything, right? From extracurricular, co-curricular, sports, etc. So a balanced profile always helps. And with all this happening, you will need some time to relax, as I mentioned, and relaxation can be a personal choice.
Okay. So yeah, that was a great answer. So sir, next question is like coaching also, like I am a fresher, ठीक है, like I am a fresher and there are many students who are going to give CAT examination this year or next year. तो like अगर हमें स्टार्ट करना है तो किस चीज को सबसे पहले उठाएं, ठीक है? लाइक मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स इवन आई एम कंफ्यूज कि मैं स्टार्ट किस से करूं अपनी एग्जामिनेशन की प्रिपरेशन, किस टॉपिक को पहले सिलेक्ट करूं या किस चीज पर फोकस करूं कि मेरा इंटरेस्ट बन जाए। अकॉर्डिंग टू यू कि किस टॉपिक से आपने स्टार्ट किया था एंड फिर धीरे धीरे बाकी चीजों पे शिफ्ट किस तरह से कर सकते हैं। एंड ऑल्सो सेकंड चीज लिंकिंग टू दैट कि कोचिंग इंपॉर्टेंट है या नहीं है, बिकॉज एक माइंडसेट ये रहता है कि कोचिंग तो बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, उसके बिना कैसे हो पाएगी, घर पे सेल्फ स्टडी कितना भी कर लो, बट कोचिंग इज द ऑप्शन एंड यू नीड टू गो फॉर कोचिंग। लाइक कोचिंग कितनी जरूरी है, इन दोनों को रिलेट कर दो।
Okay, let me answer the second part of the question first, because then the first answer will flow through it. Now, coaching is important only for one reason, which is the structure in which you are getting the information about what you need to study. Without that structure, probably, as you mentioned, that you would not get an interest into what you are doing, or you won't be able to follow a particular timeline, your productivity will reduce, etc., etc. So coaching is only important for the structure that they give, and moreover they have their own deadlines, guidelines, and timelines, right? So all of this combined, it will help you structure your preparation as well. But at the end of the day, CAT preparation is all about self-study. irrespective of what coaching classes you go to or what material you choose to do, in the end, self-study is going to help you crack the CAT examination.
Okay.
Now, I'm pretty sure you got the answer to the first question as well, but let me address that too. Start anywhere, whatever helps you. There is no particular start to the CAT preparation per se, because all of these concepts are pre-10 standard. Anything that you have studied before 10 standard is what is going to be in the curriculum of CAT. And the curriculum as such, although limited to a specific set of topics, the questions are innumerable and infinite. Any topic can have new questions formed every year. So there is no end to the CAT preparation. The only end is the CAT examination itself, right? So start anywhere and just keep doing whatever you are doing. Don't lose hope.
Okay, thank you. So next is, which sections requires most practice according to you? मतलब सबसे ज़्यादा किस section से बच्चों को डर लगता है उस चीज?
See, again, this will depend on what are your strengths and your weaknesses. There are 3 sections, as I mentioned: verbal, DILR, and quant. Okay. Now, all of these 3 sections, for someone quant would be difficult, verbal would be easy, for someone DILR would be difficult, quant would be easy. So there is no such thing that this is a very difficult section or this is a very easy section. Each section has different difficulty levels, and it's a very subjective thing. Difficulty is a very subjective thing for each student, right? So for every student, it's their own choice, I would say. There is no such thing as a difficult section or an easy section.
Okay. So ठीक है, like ये personal पे depend करता है कि किस strength पे and weakness के according, ठीक है. So mock test तो जरूरी है, ठीक है. And कितने mock test जरूरी है and कितने time पहले हम अपनी mock test start कर दें करने, ताकि जब exam में बैठे तो कोई दिक्कत ना है, तो उस पे थोड़ा highlight कर दो.
Right. So again, the question is a little bit incorrect. Kitne mock test is not the right question to ask, because just giving mock test is not going to be sufficient for clearing the CAT examination. You need to have the analysis of the CAT exam, the mock test that you give, and that analysis needs to be done along with the mocks that you give. On an average, I would say 25 to 30 mocks is also sufficient, and people with say 10-15 mocks have also aced the CAT examination as per their level of understanding and intelligence. But a common thread across the people who give 3 mocks and get good scores in CAT, or people who give 50 mocks and still score good, the only common thread is the analysis aspect of it. And if say you start sometime around June, July, I would say that's the right time to start giving mocks, because that is the time when you have completed 80% of the syllabus of CAT examination. You are in a good state of mind. You will be able to start slow. You will have more time to analyze the mocks. The higher the delay you have in giving mocks, the more difficult it will be to analyze those mocks in such a short duration, which will hamper your preparation. So I would say start sometime in June with 1-2 mocks every week, and then move on to say 3 mocks every week by October end, and that would be the end of your mock phase. Because once November starts, you would probably be your revision and your final preparation for CAT.
Okay, so adding on to that, so sir, you have cleared your IIM Ahmedabad interview and CAT preparation in 1 attempt, right?
Right.
Okay, so most of the times what happens कि जितना हमने सोचा होता है उतना अचीव नहीं कर पाते, and उतनी परसेंटाइल भी नहीं बनती, और even we don't get our dream B school, ठीक है? So like how to manage those failures, and in preparation या फिर in general काफी सारी failures आपने भी face किए होंगे, ठीक है? तो लाइक उससे रिलेटेड करके, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स डोंट गेट द ड्रीम कॉलेजेस, तो उस फेलियर को किस तरह से आप ओवरकम कर सकते हो?
See, a very good question, I would say. Now let's look at my journey so far. I'm a GEM fresher, which is essentially a general engineer male fresher, a category which had typically very less chances of converting IIM Ahmedabad, and my percentile score was 99.81. When the results actually came in, uh, most of the people said that I won't even get an IIMA call. But then the IIMA call came in. When the IIMA call came in, given I was a gem fresher, very less chances of conversion. I knew that probably what 10 in 400 is what the gem freshers score is, and sorry, gem fresher non IITian, I would say, right?
Okay.
So very less chances of converting IIMA interviews, but then again I prepared for it, I gave, and the results don't come out immediately.
Yeah.
After IIMA interview, I gave 16 other interviews,
Oh,
right? So that is a journey, and
okay.
trust me, when the IIMA result came in, I just come out of another interview on that particular day when the IIMA results had come out, and obviously I heaved a sigh of relief that
Yeah,
finally
yeah.
the dream was coming true. But even during the journey, although we see the end result, which is getting an admission into IIMA, there are multiple failures that every person faces,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Exactly.
the only way to face those failures is to, one, be perseverant. Just
Okay.
go after the goal. Once you have set the goal, go after it. There will be failures even during the journey, but you need to pick yourself up and get back on track. Two
Okay.
things helped me the most. One is the support from my friends, family, teachers, and my colleagues, and secondly was I would say the kind of relaxation techniques that I had developed. And those are not some hi-fi relaxation techniques. I just like taking long walks with
Yeah.
music, and that, it helps you cope up at some level when you face failures.
Okay.
So you need to develop your own such techniques, but I would say the support from your family is probably one of the most important things when you face failures.
Right. Right. So just out of curiosity, एक चीज पूछना चाहता हूँ, like how was your experience, and like जब आपको कॉल आई IIM अहमदाबाद से, even many of your friends or someone else has said you कि कॉल आनी बहुत मुश्किल है, even after getting 99.8 percentile, like बहुत बड़ी चीज होती है. तो like क्या खुशी थी, and how did you react to that, and when you get selected for your MBA course?
So, as I said, I had just come out of the IIM Indore interview, and as per last year's expected dates of IIMA's results, the final admission list was supposed to come out on that day, and usually the admissions office closed by 5 p.m. So the results are announced say around 4:30, but that didn't happen, and by 5 p.m. we knew that probably the results would not come out at that time, and I was coming back to from Dadar, which is an interview center in Bombay, back to Borivali where I was staying. And on Borivali platform, I was just stepping down from the train, and one of my friends messaged me who also was preparing for CAT along with me that IIMA results are out,
Okay.
and I just froze, one leg outside the train and one leg inside the train. And you know how Bombay locals are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But luckily, Borivali was the last stop for that train, so nothing happened. And I literally checked the result online in that position, and the first word was congratulations.
अरे.
And uh, the next half an hour, I don't recall a lot of it because it was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
frenzy of calls and messages. But I do remember that my mom was with me on
Okay.
that trip, and I called my sister and my father who were at home, and yeah, that feeling is it's whenever I talk about it, it just feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
But that is probably a feeling that will always stay for life, I would say.
एग्जैक्टली इवन लाइक मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है, मतलब आपका सुन के कि लाइक यार बहुत अच्छी फीलिंग होती है. वी कांट एक्सप्रेस, बट इट रिमेन्स लाइफ लॉन्ग.
Definitely, words sometimes are insufficient to express
एग्जैक्टली.
these feelings.
एग्जैक्टली.
वो वो जहाँ होते हैं, and when you experience it, you know
या
that.
या या. सो जस्ट वन मोर क्वेश्चन एंड देन वी विल कंक्लूड. लाइक इंटरव्यू में आपके अकॉर्डिंग क्या लगा कि which is one of the most important thing one should have, एंड मतलब क्या कैरेक्टर होना चाहिए, या फिर कुछ चीज ऐसी हाईलाइट करना चाहोगे आप, लाइक जो आपको लगा इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे कि ये चीज तो बंदे में होनी चाहिए अगर वो इंटरव्यू देने जा रहा है?
So, see, IIMs in general, not just IIM Ahmedabad, but
Yeah.
IIMs and B school in general, I would say, are looking for a well-developed profile. And by well-developed, I mean that the profile should have a good combination of curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular, positions of responsibilities. So there will always be one area where the profile is very good, and it will be good or medium level in the other areas. So that's fine, but it should not be medium in all areas. It should not be like that, because they essentially, all B schools are looking for, as I mentioned, a balanced profile with one area shining, right?
Okay.
So that's one thing. Second is, in interviews, be prepared with what you have done in your life so far. So if you are a UG student, or if you are in WorkX, try to connect these dots and your incidents in life, and try to build a story out of it. That story will essentially translate into what kind of person you are, and how you make those decisions, or how you have made those decisions in life. The interviewers want to know about that.
Okay.
Right? So that's the second thing. And third thing is, know your resume very well. Do not fake anything on your CV, and do not try to fake anything while you are speaking about your CV, because if you do so, very high chances that you are going to be caught in that act, and it won't look good on your part during the interview. Exactly. So try to, rather, I would say, definitely do not do that. Right. So these are the three things I would say are very important during an interview.
Okay, so this answer is really very helpful and gonna be very helpful for those who are watching this. Okay, so moving on to the last question, I would request you to give any 3 tips for upcoming CAT aspirants, like जो उनको काफी help करे.
Sure, I don't think I have 3 tips.
Okay.
But I would say the 2 tips are: one is, do not have a biased mindset, because on a every day I talk with a lot of CAT aspirants, and a lot of them interact with me as my mentees as well. I have a mentorship program where I train and share my experiences with future CAT aspirants, right? So probably whoever is watching this video can check out my website and my blog, where all of these details are available. So one thing I have observed is, everyone goes in with a biased mindset a lot, and even I did that until someone gave me this advice, and I'm passing it forward. People think that if I'm saving, say, 2-3 lakhs for my company, that's a small number, or just because I'm an engineer, I won't really be good at VARC, or just because I'm a non-mathematics background student, I would be good at quant. So these are kind of biases that we cultivate in our minds during our journey, because of what people say around us, or what other people's opinions are, or what has historically happened. So that's one advice I would give: try to stay away from these biases. Second is, be sincere in your approach when you are preparing for CAT, because sincerity goes a long way, and it will help you stay focused and productive throughout the journey. Because see, CAT preparation does not really end with 9-12 months of CAT prep. There are 3 or 4 months more where you prepare for your interviews, where you actually give interviews, and 17 interviews spread out over a whole month, 1.5 months probably, is a tiring thing, especially if you are in my time, I was physically traveling for each and every interview.
Exactly.
Now probably it would be online for many of the colleges, but you face some kind of stress eventually. But if you are sincere about your approach, and you know your goals well, then that would help, right? So that's my second advice. At the same time, I would just say that if you're sincere, do not get serious about it. If you start taking your failures too badly, then that can also not work out for you.
Right. So that was all about from my side. Thank you, Abhin sir, for giving your precious time and joining with me. So thank you once again. And guys, I would request you all to please like this video, and you can connect with Abhin sir, and links for all the social media handles are given in the description box. You can check out that, and also you can subscribe my channel for more such videos. And yeah,